whenever I see someone wearing a mask and like I think of them talking, I just hear like the Bane voice, like Bane.
Some Tom Hardy style. So it looks like he got an Assassin's Trophy taken out, a Delver right away. Or is that an Abrupt Decay, actually?
Oh, yeah, that's the Abrupt
I think
Decay.
it's an Abrupt Decay. It's possible that the player on the left has no basics, and they touched base about the fact that he has to allow him to search. Quick Ponder. Let's see if it finds another threat. Looks like it's going to be a Thoughtseize. Taken. Is that a Rancor?
That's a Rancor, baby.
Oh, jeez. You put that on your Merit Lage, give it a trample, and connect? Oh, boy. That is exciting.
Yeah, you can put it on Dark Confidant, or you can put it on... I mean, if you put it on, Hex Mage, it's like a 4/1 first strike trample. Like, how do you beat that? That's unbeatable.
Bojuka Bog coming into play, going to exile that gigantic graveyard. Not really a lot of action for a player on the right. He's got 3 more lands in hand. One of them is another copy of Urborg, which is not the best and not fantastic versus decks that want to cast black spells. However, player on the left has a True Name Nemesis, but no third land. He's trying to set up a really convoluted scenario. I think he can commit his entire hand here to cast a True Name Nemesis. He can cast Surgical Extraction, tap a land for mana, daze the land back to his hand, replays land for the turn, and deploy a True Name Nemesis. And honestly, it might be worth it. I mean, who knows how long it's going to be until he hits another land.
Okay, I just want him to Surgical the Rancor. I just want him to do that. That'd be so sick.
So, if your opponent has a Rancor die and it triggers, that's really what the Surgical is for. It counters the Rancor's comes back trigger.
Well, I mean, yeah, you're totally right. He can make True Name here, but it's really hard to say, honestly, if that's like the play you want to make, and it burns so many resources.
I mean, it's not fantastic, but honestly, it might be better than just doing nothing. Like, if he whiffs on lands for another 2 or 3 turns, like, that 6 to 9 damage is going to be really important. And
Absolutely.
There's not a lot of action for Daichi here, so I think that committing these counter spells to ensure that your True Name comes down is kind of an evaluation of, I don't really need equity, I want tempo, I really want a clock. However, Takahiro decided not to, rips the 3rd land, and he's good to go. So this is also kind of the alternative. And it looks like another land drawn for Daichi. However, this time it is a Sajiri step, so at least it's an action land, but not particularly relevant when you're getting attacked by True Name.
All right, and it's the race against time. Can Depths draw the combo?
Yeah, True Name Nemesis on the board is like, hey, the turn is going to end in X turns, so make sure they count.
Yeah, you're going to have to figure out what to do. You're going to have to beat all this counter magic in my hand that you know that I have, that I know that you know that I have. Mm-hmm. And a quick shuffle. I mean, this is kind of one of those matchups where him to Torok, it's so nice to have the hand destruction, him to Torok, Thoughtseize. That stuff's amazing.
Oh, definitely. Really powerful 2-for-1s.
Sylvan
Safekeeper. Ularada coming down, and of course sacrificing lands to protect creatures is kind of his thing, so if the 2020 gets made, it'll be safe.
That being said, it's like, what cards could you use? I mean, you could use like Dead Gone, I guess. That's like the only card I can think of that like actively targets. Maybe it's also there to eat an Edict effect, I guess.
There's a lot of like Sting Scourger is a bounce effect, Echoing Truth, Chain Vapor. You do see some bounce effects.
I'm just thinking specifically out of like Grixis Delver.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe Dead Gone. Maybe.
Yeah, Dead Gone and Echoing Truth, I think, are the most likely.
Yeah, and it's probably just deploying that so he can eat the Edict effect and then sack it, protect it with like against Lightning Bolt and stuff. It's very resilient versus single target removal. So
yeah, and Daichi has a ton of lands here in the tank, so he's able to utilize that Sylvan Safekeeper multiple times per turn if he really needs to.
Absolutely. Wasteland is the top deck.
Wasteland will stop Daichi from being able to make a 2020 here.
Takahiro just rolling in with Trained Armadon. I mean, I guess Daichi does have removal in the form of Abrupt Decay, but like for the most part, right, that he's going to use those Abrupt Decays on trying to beat cards that are going to stop him from comboing.
Yeah, Abrupt Decay does not target True Name Nemesis very well either.
I've heard that before.
For multiple reasons. One of them is because blue is the best color.
That's true. They should have just made it red, honestly.
Yeah, I like calling it Blue Name Nemesis, though, and you can't do it if it's red.
That's absolutely right.
So Thespian Stage hits the board for Daichi, and Takahiro needs to be careful here. If Takahiro attempts to just waste the Thespian Stage kind of to start a stack. Daichi can copy a basic land with the Thespian Stage, and it will have that basic subtype in addition to the 2-tap, make it a copy, so you can protect it from Wasteland in that regard. I have had a scenario where I've attempted to waste a Thespian Stage to get my opponent to tap it, and then I played a Pithing Needle on Forest, which was really exciting.
Oh, that's so sick. And absolutely works. All right, and Delver gets deployed. So the clock is quick. In fact, it's next turn, I believe.
So it looks like Daichi's going to attempt to make the Thespian Stage copy of the Forest here. I'm a little surprised that Takahiro didn't just immediately waste it. That seems risky. Because now... Well, so now Takahiro can't interrupt the Thespian Stage Dark Depths combo. He can only go after the Dark Depths. Okay, Loam is a draw for Daichi, which means more lands, which are really not what Daichi wants right now.
Yeah, that's...
He needs action.
Well...
He was a Loamer boy.
He's going to go ahead and target, and Daichi looks at his hand. And
I'm a little surprised by that force. Seems a little bit unnecessary. I just don't really know what it accomplishes here. Force of Will, of course, in the bin, now going to be targeted by a Surgical Extraction for Daichi, and Takahiro is going to force again. He does not want to let his hand get revealed. And it looks like that's game going to Takahiro, so 2-0. Wow, that was another really, really quick match.